Hi there, friends! So, Carrie Hope Fletcher recently did a video about her bucket list, and I thought I would really like to make a bit of a chatty video and just sit down and film since I do have some free time this weekend. So I thought that I would share 10 items off of my bucket list. Now what Carrie did was share not like the top 10, but just 10 random items, so I thought that I would do that too. I've actually been very lucky in the past few years. My bucket list has kind of changed around a lot. I used to actually have a physical copy of it, but I don't now. In that I've actually accomplished quite a few things off of it. For example, studying abroad for a semester in a foreign country is something that I'm doing right now, which was a thing on my bucket list for my whole life. And I also, last summer, met Killian Donnelly, which was one of like the top things on my bucket list. So it's quite exciting to have actually gotten to check things off of it, so it really gets me thinking about what else I want to do. So without further ado, here are 10 random items from my bucket list. So I think the first thing on my bucket list would be to live in New York City. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be living up there next summer. And then I really think I would like to move there after graduation and work in the city. I'm very, very much a city person, but I like that New York isn't that far from North Carolina, where all my family is. It's a really easy flight. And I love how much culture it has, all the museums and obviously the theater, and but mostly also the fashion industry is so big there. So that is number one. The second thing on my bucket list would definitely be to see Jeremy Jordan live. I love Jeremy Jordan. He is one of my favorite performers in like everything that he's ever done. I have so many different cast albums with him singing on them, and I loved him in the Last 5 Years movie, but I've never seen him live, and he's one of my only favorite performers that I've not seen live now since I've seen Alistair Brammer, Killian Donnelly, Niall Shee, Ramin Karimloo, Hadley Fraser. Like, I've seen so many incredible people, but I've not seen Jeremy, so definitely something on my bucket list I hope I will get to do one day. Also, I really want to go to Denmark, particularly Copenhagen, but Denmark just seems like such a cool and interesting place. It has a really interesting history and just so many things that I'd love to see, so I definitely want to go there one day. Another thing that I guess I could accomplish quite soon is that I've always wanted to do a wine tasting at Biltmore Estate. Biltmore Estate is the largest privately owned home in the Americas, and it is up in the mountains of North Carolina, and I've grown up going there all the time. We go there a lot, but as I'm not yet 21, I've never been able to do a wine tasting, so I always have to just watch my parents do it. And as I will be turning 21 in September, I would really love to get to do that at some point because it seems really cool, and I think honestly it's mostly just that I've grown up watching my parents do it and not being able to. So the next thing, I guess this list of things that I came up with for like 10 random things off of it became very theater-y, but I think that also might just be who I am as a person. But the next thing would be to see Next to Normal live. It is one of my favorite musicals, and I've actually never seen it. I'm kind of upset because they're actually doing it at home at my school this semester, and I'm not there to see it, and they're also doing it in Raleigh in the spring, and I'm not going to be there to see it. That's kind of sad, but one day I will see it because it is on my bucket list, and it's a great show, and I want to see how they actually do it live because I've heard the music so much, but it's one of those shows that's very difficult to figure out how the music actually builds the story. One of the next things is I've always wanted to be someone's maid of honor. I've been a bridesmaid several times at my cousin's weddings, but I really would like to be the maid of honor in a wedding. Obviously not anytime soon, as I'm just 20 years old, but that is the thing that I want to do, and it may not be until my sister Hannah gets married, which is a very long ways away as she is 12, but that's something that I really think would be a great experience to get to share with someone that you love and that you're close to. Another thing on my bucket list that I would love to do is meet Alfie Days, or Pointless Blog as he's known on YouTube. I have both of his books here that I just saw on my shelf as I was saying that. Alfie is actually a really big inspiration to me because he's only a year older than I am, but he's doing so much. He obviously has 2 books out, he has a very impressive YouTube channel, but more than that, he's just such a kind person, and he's so grateful and humble And he really seems to actually appreciate his fans. So I would love to meet him. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll go to VidCon this summer and I might be able to see him there. But that is definitely something that I want to do at some point in my life. Another theater-y thing on my bucket list is I've always wanted to day seat a show, or to enter into a lottery. Obviously, that's something that I feel like you do more if you have more time in a city, perhaps. I've never wanted to take the chance of that, or to spend the time doing that while I've been somewhere that they have shows, so I'm really hoping to do that next summer in New York City if I'm there for the whole summer. If you don't know what day seating is, it's basically where you go in the morning whenever the box office opens and stand in line and try to get tickets for the show that day that are like very discounted, but you just kind of take whatever's left. And I think that would be so fun to just kind of impromptu see a show, particularly if you were in a city where like you weren't wasting time by doing that necessarily. So yeah, I'd love to do that too. Number 9, we are almost to the end of this list, would be to go to the Theatre Cafe in London. It is on Shaftesbury Avenue. I walked past it several times in March, but never found a time to go in. And I follow them on Twitter, and they just seem like the coolest people. It's basically this cafe that has all these posters and props and things and drinks and stuff named after like not Broadway, but like musical theater-y things, which is so me. Like, I love cafes and I love musical theater, and it's right near Queen's Theatre where Les Miserables plays, and I got really excited whenever I walked by it because they have a thing for Memphis on it, and I was like, oh my god, it's Killian! Because I'm an embarrassing person on the streets of London, apparently. But I really want to go there at some point, so hoping that is somewhere in my future. And the last item on my bucket list that I'm going to talk about today is I would really love to film a Q&A video. And the funny thing about that, I actually have filmed a Q&A video before. I did a mock Q&A as part of a project my senior year of high school, in which I played Emma Woodhouse, which is too fitting, honestly. I am Emma Woodhouse of Jane Austen's novel, Emma. But I just think Q&A videos look like they would be so fun to film. And I mean, obviously I'm filming YouTube videos. I like talking about myself and I like to talk. But I think that would be so fun. But obviously to film a Q&A video, you have to be well known enough to get people to ask you questions. So hopefully, though, that is something that could be in my future one day. So those are my 10 bucket list items that I wanted to share with you today. Please let me know in the comments below what your bucket list items are, or make a video response to this and share it with me. But in any case, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel, because then I will love you forever and ever and ever. Even though I already do for watching this video. Bye!